I was born and raised in Appomattox, Virginia, and I had two sisters and lived there all my life until I got married, and we've moved out and first lived in Greensboro, North Carolina, and had my oldest son there, Bruce. He's in the Marines now. And then we moved to Rockingham, and that's where I had my second child, Jason. And then we moved back to Virginia to Danville, and then to Clemson, and we've been in Clemson 25 years.
What brought you to Clemson?
My husband was a plant engineer for J.P. Stevens at the time, and then it went to West Point Pepperell. He was a plant engineer. He worked there for a little over 30 years, he did, and then he decided to take an early retirement. And he retired, I think he was 51, 52, retired early. And then that's when mostly everything really started going downhill a little bit, was then. And we just got into, he got into a little depression, and I didn't pick up on it. And we got into some financial trouble, and we lost all of our retirement. And we lost all of our savings, and we're about to lose our house, and my sisters helped us save the house. And so they loaned us quite a bit of money to save it, but we got back into that. And then of course I started looking for a job immediately and found a job and worked for 7 years until I was let go a year ago, 2 days before Christmas, a year ago, and haven't been able to find a job. Lynn has found a job, and he's working almost 6 days a week, so we're getting back up, but it's been really tough for us because when he retired early, we lost all of our health insurance, and we haven't been able to afford anything, but we do have AARP, which is just a supplement, and that's only so many visits to the doctor, so many visits to the emergency room, and does not include dental, or it does not include, we just can't afford it. We could get dental, but we can't afford it. We already pay $421 a month now, and it's just basic, it's a supplement, it's not really health insurance. And we've had to make decisions what to do and what not to do, as far as can we afford it or can we not. And there are a lot of things we've made decisions. I've been without my medicine, my blood pressure medicine, for 3 weeks. I didn't have the money. And went over here to community care in Clemson, and we owned a house, so I didn't qualify. But my sister sent some money, and I was able to get it, but otherwise I had been without it for 3 weeks. And that was a decision that we had to make, whether we were going to buy food or whether we were going to eat. So that's what we did. And it's just something, you just have to take it one day at a time, and that's what I do. You get to the point you have to make a decision of whether you buy your food or whether you have to buy your medicine. And we made the decision that the food was more because we just buy what we need. So you just have to take one day at a time and do what you think is best and what you think the good Lord wants you to do. We were fine. Lynn had a good paying job. We had insurance for the kids, and we never really, did extravagant things, but as a family, we were able to take family vacations, and if we needed to improve the house, we had the money to do that. But now we have to make decisions what to do because the money's just not there. And I've gotten unemployment and can't find a job. I'm willing to work. I'm ready to work, ready to go, but just can't find that job. But it was good. I mean, we were able to do anything that the kids wanted to do, playing soccer, band, whatever. But now it's just the two of us, and we don't do hardly anything. The one thing I told him when all of this started, I said, Lynn, do something that you enjoy doing. You'll never make the money that you did as a plant engineer. I mean, he has a master's degree. And I told him, I said I wanted him to be happy, because to me that's what it's all about, just to take one day at a time and be happy. And he is, but he works 6 days a week. And
what does he do?
He's a subcontractor. He's independently has a business, a home repair. But he works for Architect, and when there's jobs to be done, and The wintertime it's worse because there's not many jobs in the wintertime. So now, and it's beginning now. The jobs are few and far between. And as long as we have warm weather, we're okay. But the wintertime's really rough for us as far as getting an income coming in. I think it's something you take for granted because when we had insurance, when Lynn worked with West Point Stevens, you didn't think about it. You knew that you were supposed to go every year and have your mammogram. You knew you were supposed to go every year and have your pap test. You just knew you took the children to the dentist. It's just something you knew you did. But when you don't have insurance, I haven't been to a dentist in about 7 years. Lynn's needs it worse than I do. But we now can't, had to have work done, but we can't do it because we owe too much. We're paying $25 a month. And so he can't get his teeth fixed. We have no dental insurance. And I think people really take it for granted that, you know, everybody has insurance, but you don't. And I know my mother has a history of colon cancer, so I have to have a colonoscopy regularly, and I'm still paying for that. I pay $25 a month on that, and it was a little over $2,000. But I really believe that people do take it for granted about insurance, and we do the best we can. And I'm up front with every doctor I go to see and tell them that I have no insurance except just a supplement. And my health is not the best. Last year I fell and cut an artery in my leg, and then got staph infection, and didn't realize how hard that was and what it could have done to me. Then I went to a surgeon, and he found a pocket that had all the infection in it, so that was another doctor I had to add to my list. And then this year I have cellulitis in the same leg. But in between the cellulitis and the artery, I started losing my hair, and found out I have alopecia. And went to a dermatologist to be treated and had to take steroid shots. And then it got to the point I couldn't afford those, so my decision was just to deal with the fact that I have no hair. And I would love to have continued with the treatments, but I just couldn't, and I was paying him $25 a month. And then when I had the cellulitis, my hospital bill was over $13,000. And I just applied for financial help with Oconee Medical Center, and they helped me. And I was shocked, but very thankful. But I had no help for the doctor, so I'm now paying 3 more doctors $10 a month, because I don't have a job now, so I couldn't afford the $25. So I'm now paying on that and still paying on the colonoscopy I had 2 years ago. And it's just hard. The medication, I have a lot of medications, and my husband does too, and he went through a series of thought he had prostate cancer. He did not, but he's under some powerful medicine, and we have 2 medicines that cost $70 each, and it's hard. It's really hard. So we've switched to we get our medicines from Walmart because we can get the generic for $4 and $10, but those 2 we cannot. We can get the generic, but not for $4 and $10. It's too expensive. So we have to make a decision again. Do we eat or do we take our medicine? Or do we go to the doctor? Do we have to go? We have to make decisions now, and we make the decisions that we think are best for us. But it's hard sometimes. It really is hard. The leg that I cut the artery in, I also have osteoarthritis. My joints are not good at all, and I have a hard time. I cannot stand. Even at church sometimes when we sing a hymn, I cannot stand up the whole time to sing a hymn. If it got 5 verses, I can't stand. But I can move, but I cannot stand in one position. And I have a hard time going down steps and up steps, and it's just a hard time. And All my joints have been affected now. I have bone spurs in my shoulders and my knees. I hear them pop at night. And used to have trouble with bone spurs in my ankles, but I just sort of go on and do what I have to do and just try not to complain. It's $421 for both Lynn and myself a month. It covers only 2 visits to an emergency room, and when I did the leg, I had 4 visits to the emergency room.
How often?
In a year's time is the only time you can go, and there's only about 4 to 6 visits, if I'm not mistaken, to a doctor. And of course, we don't go to a doctor. We self-medicate like everybody else does, but we go for our yearly checkups. We do that, and I did not keep up with the dentist. I did not keep up with my mammograms, and just recently I just had to go through a biopsy. Luckily it was benign, but and the doctor fussed. I had not been, but you just have to make that decision. Your life is important, but you just don't have the money. And sometimes you get so tired of having to explain yourself. It makes it hard. It makes it real hard. I have a lot of faith, and I think that's what's kept me going. But it's really hard to bring everything up all over again and to try to explain to people. But by the grace of God, I'm still here. I prayed about it because I really wasn't sure if it was something I love to talk, but I didn't know if it was something that I should do. But I really do now, because I feel like that there are people out there that maybe I can speak for. I've been doing this now for almost 7 years, and I'm very, very thankful that we've made it this far. But I believe there are people out there that are in the same situation we're in, and they just don't know how to handle it or where to go. And sometimes you feel like you can only go through so many mountains, but you need to have that faith that you can go over those mountains. And there's always doors that are shut. Just like I would love to go and have my teeth cleaned, but they won't see me because I can't pay anymore. I mean, something just as simple as that. And I don't like waiting until I have to spend the time in the hospital, and that's just about what's happening. So I just feel like I can talk for some people that are going through the very same thing we're going through, and I feel like that I can speak for them because I've been there. But first of all, don't give up, because sometimes it's as if you're penalized because you own a home. You're almost penalized because you might make $100 more than you're supposed to get food stamps. But it's tough. Every time you hit a door, you just think, I just can't do this anymore. But my faith is what has kept me going. God has been good to us, and I'm ready to climb the mountains. And I learned through it. I've learned a lot. I don't get as mad as much as I used to. The first time I went in to apply for food stamps, when I lost my job, they made me feel like I was a piece of dirt. And I couldn't handle it, but we finally did get the food stamps. But then I got my job, and I was making $100 too much. So we had to give the food stamps up. So you just keep going. There's got to be some help out there. There's got to be some help. I just don't know where to go anymore. So just hang in there. I just hang in there is all I can say. Probably the fact that you don't have to have lost everything to need help. I'm just an average person. I'm not any better than anybody else. I'm just an average citizen, and I think sometimes we're forgotten. Either you have to totally have nothing, or you just don't qualify. And I just want a little help just to make it a little easier. And there's got to be something, some program or something out there that could help us, because it's just the worry that you go through. You know, do we have enough to pay the bills? And that's all I'm asking for. I just need some help and to know that somebody cares. You don't want to tell everybody all your problems, but I feel like the legislature, I think we're just forgotten. We're just absolutely forgotten. People just can't afford the insurance. And this was all we could afford, and I'm very thankful for that, but there's got to be some help out there. The government's got to think of everybody, and I just wish it was some programs there that you got to have your faith and keep that up, but there are just times you just need somebody just to hug you and say, yeah, we can help you. We own a house. Lynn only made $14,000 last year. This year it's already less because of the weather started cold. We usually make too much because it's usually $10,000 or $12,000. Well, we make maybe $1,000 more. Well, that $1,000 doesn't go very far. And that has been the fact that we own a house, and the fact that we might make $100 or $1,000 too much. That's what's kept us from applying for any of these. And plus, we're not that old. I will be 60 next year, and Lynn will be 63 next year. And we, just don't seem to be the right age yet, and we're not old enough, or we just don't seem to qualify for anything. And we're just in limbo. And I don't want anybody to pay my way. I just need a little help. I just need just something.
I notice you're very proud of your family.
Very proud. They mean a lot to me. And they have tried to help as much as they can. My sisters did help us save the house. They do send some money for my medicine, and you get tired of asking. Your family loves you, but it's tough. It's real tough. And Lynn's family, they're dealing with their own situations. They help when they can, but it's just really tough. You don't want to, I don't tell my sisters everything because I don't want them to, I just want to be able to do it myself. And it's hard. It's real hard. And the boys, my son is a Marine, and he's not home, and my other one has 4 children. He's got his own family, but they help as much as they can, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough.
What will make it enough?
I'd love to have a full-time job. I'd love to have a full-time job. Just to know that somebody needs me. I don't mind working. But we take one day at a time, and we do the best that we can with that. And that's all I'm really asking for. I just take one day at a time and live that day and do the best that I can and start all over the next day. Yeah, I'm not giving up. I don't give up. I have a group in my church that means an awful lot to me. I have it's a missionary group, as Seekers, and those ladies mean an awful lot to me. And I do anything. We do everything, different types of missions, and they keep me going. They really do. They have meant an awful lot to me, and you've got to have that. You've got to have that faith, and you just can't give up. You just can't. And there were times I felt like that's it. I just can't do this anymore. But you just have to keep going. You just have to.
If you had good health coverage, it would make a big difference.
The stress would be removed. I know that I could go to a doctor, and I know I could go for regular checkups, and I know that I'd be provided for, but I'm at the point now, do I go to the doctor, or do I just stay at home and just rest? Do I, it's just to the point, it would relieve a lot of things. It would take stress. And that's one thing that's wrong with the alopecia, is my stress. So it would take a lot of stress off if we had health insurance, a lot of stress. Everybody should have that. Everybody should have something. I'm very thankful for what little we have with the insurance, but it's not enough. It's a supplement insurance. It's not enough. Nobody plans on being sick, but you have to have something to help you get through it. But when you don't, you just don't. And it's just, when you don't have it is when you realize how much you need it. And you really do need it. And it would just make things a lot easier if we had something like that. Not have to worry about where the drugs are going to come, where your medicine, not drugs, but your medicine, where that's coming from. It just would be so much better if we could do that, and just go on and go to the doctor when I want to, and have regular checkups, and then that way would be okay. So it would help tremendously.